What's up everybody, welcome back to the Art of Crypto, the birthplace of absolutely legendary gains. In this video we are going to take a look into VeChain and exactly what the institutions are going to do next, because if you don't already know, this is caused by institutions, and just the thing that you need to know is that institutions are holding pretty much most of the money, and if they decide that they want to bring the market down, there is nothing that you can do about it as a retail trader to stop it. So there's a saying that goes, if you can't beat them, join them. So we'll do exactly that, and let's just dive right into it. So VeChain, in order to kick things off, we have to first start off on the weekly chart, because before we get a understanding of what is happening on a higher time frame, there is no way for us to understand or at least trade the lower time frames. So right now what you're going to see me do is I'm literally just going to be marking out the weekly highs and lows. So for example, over here we have a weekly low, and so I'm marking that with an orange line, and I'm just going to keep doing that so that we can get a better sense of what is going on the institutional level, because we don't want to be trading like retail right now. Like, sure, retail is going to be like, oh hey, this level is strong support, strong resistance, but no, come on guys, we're better than that. Alright, if you've tried to trade in the retail way, and basically, I don't know about you, but if you're trying to trade in the retail way, I would be willing to bet like you were losing money during this whole time. So right now, these are some key weekly levels that we should be paying attention to, and just to give you guys a better picture, and now just to explain why this matters, we have to hop into the daily chart. So all the weekly levels tells us is what is the institutional directional bias. Right, what do the institutions think? Is the coin in an uptrend or is the coin in a downtrend? That is what you use weekly levels for. So the way you use it is basically, if any move, right? If you notice this daily move right here, it broke through 1, 2, 3, 4 weekly levels, and well, it came to find support on this weekly level. So what you need to know is, as long as any single move breaks below at least 2 weekly levels, then you know that there is a change of direction going on right now. So for example, the moment it broke this line right here, then you know that the sentiment of institutions would have shifted bearish. But of course, if you were trading on the daily chart or like the 4 hourly, you would have saw this coming like way earlier. Like for example, once you got this break of structure, then you know that it's in the downtrend. You don't need to wait for like a weekly low to get violated. And I might know what you're thinking right now. You'll be like, hey, this guy doesn't even work for Wall Street. He's not working for a damn hedge fund. So how do I know what I'm talking about? So just go onto my Twitter, alright? I call that at least, right? At least Bitcoin will come back down to here. If you just scroll back to my Twitter, right? Look at this. Link limit long 16.59, it came down to 16.585. This is just not me trying to brag, but I'm just proving, right? I know what I'm talking about, and I called these trades based on an institutional concept. And if you haven't already followed me on Twitter at _theartofcrypto, this is where I'm sharing profitable trading setups every single day, and you don't want to miss out on them. So follow me on Twitter _theartofcrypto. So dive right back into VeChain. So in this case, because in this one move right here, we have broke through 2 weekly levels, you would say that on an institutional perspective, we might be looking bullish, but it's still a bit early to tell, because preferably, I would like to see this weekly low get violated as well, which means this one move to break through 3 weekly levels. At the moment, we don't have that, but let's dive a little bit deeper onto the 4 hourly to get a better sense of exactly what kind of trades I'm looking for, and most importantly, where is the best price to buy VeChain. I'm sure that's what most of you here are looking for. So right off the bat, I immediately I spot an entry for VeChain, and this entry is something that you call an order block. So what an order block is, right? All it simply is you want to look for these big moves upwards or downwards actually. And so for example, right, in this move downwards right here, what you need to understand is that institutions are the only ones who are able to move the markets. Trust me when I say that over here, this is retail, this is retail, this is retail, institution, and institution, because institutions hold literally most of the money, like probably in the world. So if there's one thing you need to understand, is that no matter how many of us retail traders band together and try to pump this coin up, we simply do not have the firepower to fight against the institutions, which is why I have changed my trading concept and my trading style to accompany more of an institutional perspective. And I would much rather, like, again, if you can't beat them, join them, right? Just whenever institutions make a move, they leave footprints behind, right? They leave traces of their activity behind, and that's what order blocks are. So all you have to do is think of an order block as an area of untapped liquidity. So basically, while the institutions were still busy filling up their bags here, the price basically just took off, right? If you want to think of it that way, go for it. So because institutions have so much money, they're not going to be buying like VeChain here. They're not going to be buying here. Like, come on, this is where retail's buying. So what they do is they push the price down to a previous level, or rather a previous order block. And in this case, the reason why they do it is because they can, all right? They have a massive amount of money, and they simply, like, they can control the market however they want. I know that is not a fun reality to be in, but it's the fact of the matter. Right, it's simply reality. So since you understand that, don't fight it, join them. So in this case, a bullish order block would simply be the last bearish candle before a massive move upwards. So if you just take a look here, would you agree that this massive move was preceded by this bearish candle? I'm sure you would. And the same thing goes for a bearish order block. So in this instance, would you agree that, you know, but for example, this bullish candle was preceded by this massive move downwards? I'm sure you would agree. So in this case, actually, just to prove to you that what I'm talking about works like magic, look at this. The price came up exactly into an order block, gets filled before continuing in the direction that the institutions were already determining. So this is the importance of identifying the weekly levels, or at least the institutional directional bias, because without a clear sense of the direction that the institutions are looking to push the price up or down, there is no way for you to be like, hey, should I be buying or should I be shorting, right? In this case, at least on the weekly chart, it does look like, right, if we go back to the daily, it does look like we are in a bullish directional bias, simply because we have broke through 2 weekly levels in one move. So right now we should be looking for buys, and if you are looking to buy, this price right here, 0.07380, is going to be prime buying opportunity. And I hope you guys don't front run me, because this is where I will have a order personally. So guys, please, let's just all play nice and get in at this price. So what you want to do is you want to mark down this level on your own chart, and you want to look to get VeChain between these two levels, okay? Anywhere between these two levels. In fact, if you want to fine tune your entry, what you do is, you know, you zoom out on your chart like this, grab a Fibonacci retracement and draw it from the top to the low of the candle, and you're going to want to mark down the 0.618 level of the fib, and that is going to be another entry as well. So let me just draw that line, and right now that price will be at about 0.7281. So these are going to be your $2 cost average like levels in order to get in on this order block. And just to give you a stop loss, that would be about 0.71. So right now you're going to want to mark down these levels on your own chart and make sure you pick up some VeChain over there. Now, am I saying that this is going to be the exact bottom? No, not necessarily. What I'm saying is that if you do manage to get VeChain over here, the probability that this is going to be a successful trade is higher than an unsuccessful trade, which means, again, I always like to say this, when it comes to trading, right, it is literally a game of possibilities. The way you win in trading is by simply taking the higher probability trade every time over a sustained period of time, and that's how you win in trading. So in this instance right here, your stop loss would be about 3%, and the take profit targets, right, which I'm going to list out right now, is actually going to be, well, for starters, at this weekly low, that's going to be your take profit number 1. But preferably what you want to see is for VeChain, because the direction is bullish, and a lot of retail that didn't watch this video is probably going to be bearish when VeChain gets to this area, or maybe when it gets to this area and it bounces back up, they're going to be looking to short. But you guys who are watching this channel right now, you know better. The institutional perspective is towards the bullish direction. So what we do is we look for longs, and because we are already long from this point, what's going to end up happening to retail is that when the price does get back up here, they're gonna be like, hey, let's short, right? Resistance. This is resistance, baby. We have to short resistance. Yeah, you can do that, but let me just tell you, let me just warn you that you're probably gonna get wrecked by institutions. So basically, what happens, right? What happens after the price fills here and it moves upwards? So retail might just call it a short squeeze, but again, over here at this channel, we're ahead of the pack. So let's discuss, right? Let's explain to you why we would go in short, like why a short squeeze even exists in the first place. So all you need to know is that the institutions, right? They will always seek out areas of the highest liquidity. So what does this mean? So for example, I'm just going to use this line right now as an example, and why I predict that VeChain is absolutely going to break below this line. So for example, when retail traders look at this line, they will probably go, hey, this line held as support 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 times. So this is going to be pretty strong support, right? We long at support and we short at resistance. So they're going to do that, and guess where you're going to put your stop loss if you go long here? I would assume right below here, right? Because if the price breaks below this level, then your trade is invalidated. Or better yet, some retail is just gonna go like 100x baby, VeChain to $1. And trust me, right? Institutions know this. Okay, this is why you stop thinking like retail. Institutions know where you're setting your stop loss, alright? It is even on the trading view indicator, right? If you just bring up visible range, look, we can see that there is a lot of stop losses right below this level. And, if we have access to this data, trust me, the institutions will have access to this data as well. So trust me, I'm calling it right now. VeChain is going to break right below here, and it is very likely to find, and look at this order block, right? If you see this red line right here, this is caused by the visible range indicator. So what the red line means is a point of control, which means this is where the highest amount of orders are stacked on top of each other. This is where most of the trading volume is going to occur, which means that very likely the price is going to find a very significant bounce when it comes to this level. And the reason why I'm sure of this is because not only is this a point of control, but it is an institutional order block as well, which is where, again, we are looking to get VeChain. And I just lost the chart. Right, so we're back on the chart now. So this is just another point of confluence that this level is going to be brilliant. Again, when price comes down to this level and it bounces, right, you do not want to be shorting, okay? Because you know that the directional bias is already towards the upside. So what's going to happen is what institutions are likely going to do, right? They're going to push the price up, right? They're going to let retail buy, push the price up, and then they're going to let it consolidate here for a little bit. And then retail is going to see, hey, this level is very strong resistance. It got rejected once, twice, 3, 4. Let's short. Trust me, institutions know exactly what you're thinking, right? Retail is really predictable if you just think about it. And guess where retail is going to be putting their stop losses? Presumably right above this level. So the institutions are going to hunt out liquidity, remember? So what they're going to do, they'll push the price up, stop everyone out. They don't want you making money for a very few simple reasons. Their order sizes are huge. I'm talking like multiple hundreds of millions to even billions. Right? They need liquidity in order to fill their bags. And, if you're selling, guess who's buying? That's right, institutions. So just keep this in mind. So this is going to be your trade entry for VeChain. And if you enjoyed this video so far and you feel like you've learned a thing or two, it would help me so much if you could just drop a like button. It's a really small gesture, but it really means a lot to me. So right now, this is going to be like another trade entry that you could take. Because we know that the price is probably gonna fall below this level. If it falls below this level at 0.82, like 0.81 ish, you can actually take a short, and the target for that short is actually all the way down here for about 10%. Now, I'm not going to recommend this trade, right? This is not going to be an ideal trade because there is a lot of volume between this level and this level, which means price might find support like somewhere in the middle of this range, but it doesn't change the fact that because we know that there is an order block here, and we know that institutions will likely, again, remember, institutions will never buy at subpar prices, and they will push the price down to an area where they would like to buy. And the reason they do that is because they can. So assuming, right, again, this is an assumption, should the institutions push the price down to this level, then that would be about 10%, right, from here or here. But preferably, I would like to see a break of this level before you enter, okay? So basically, you enter as it breaks. or once it breaks and it comes back up for a bearish retest, you enter there. Okay, both of these entries are generally pretty safe because you can put your stop loss literally right above this level, right? Because if it breaks above this level, then you know that your trade has been invalidated. And even with a 3% stop loss, this is still a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio for this trade. So this is going to be like another trade entry that you can take. And once the price gets down to this level, you flip your short into long and ride it up to about here. Now, the reason why I am putting a profit target of about 29% is, remember, institutions will always go to an area with the highest liquidity. What is likely to happen up top, right? Once we clear out all the liquidity down below, what happens is that there's going to be liquidity up top. So what we do is, they'll push the price up. And in fact, if you want to confirm this even more, just check the weekly chart, check the daily chart, and look for institutions to think that the price is bullish. That is how you know that, it's probably going to go up for about 28%. I don't know about you, but a 9-to-1 risk to reward ratio sounds pretty good to me, and I'll take this any day. And you should too. And remember to follow me on my Twitter for the latest market updates. If there's anything that I would update to VeChain, it's going to be on Twitter, so make sure you follow me there. For those of you who are still here, if you find this institutional trading concept really interesting, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check out the private Discord group over here. If you just go onto my Twitter, you can see that I have sniped many entries, and if you just join the Discord group, you're getting these entries every single day. And while the market is flopping around and losing money, look at this guy, first week trading, and look at these wins from my snipes. I'm just saying, right, this guy made 3k off of the Bitcoin short, which I called. We're making money every single day. There's been multiple people who have already made back their membership fee in just a couple of trades. So trust me when I say this is going to pay itself off real quick. But forget the calls, right? Forget these calls. If you're serious about doing crypto or trading as a career, you're going to want to check out the trading education that you're going to get. Like over there, I go into very excruciating detail about how I do this institutional stuff and how I snipe entries. And not only that, if you learn those concepts, literally they're going to be staying with you for life. Like, it works in Forex, it works in stocks, it works in anything. So for real guys, the money that you spend here is gonna pay itself off real quick, either indirectly or directly. Right now, if you want to sign up, I've actually already closed monthly memberships because I don't want too many people in the group, because then I wouldn't be able to provide focused attention to every single member. So if focused attention is something that you're interested in, you're going to want to sign up at The Art of Crypto, where if you pay with crypto, you can get actually up to 40% off if you pay 6 months upfront. Now, the monthly memberships are going to be closed until further notice, so if you want to get in on the Discord, where literally I am sniping entries left and right and making sure that you're on the right path and making sure that you are on the right side of the trade, you're going to want to check out the link in the description. And remember, I have given you all these scenarios and levels to watch out for. In fact, right now I'm going to give you some profit taking targets. So if the price were to fall below this level, it is going to be, a 10% drop. So this is going to be your TP, right? Let me just move it just a little bit upwards, right? This is going to be your TP at 0.074. So what about the long, right? If you do go long, then this white line here at 0.082-ish, right? That's going to be your first take profit target. And if I zoom out a little bit further, then these are going to be your next take profit zones, I would say. And you're going to want to mark these down on your own chart, because right now I'm literally giving you the exact levels to keep in mind. And if you can't even be bothered to mark these out on your own chart, there's literally nothing more that I can do for you. So these are the levels that you're going to want to take profit at. And the way you use this is you dollar cost average out. So basically, as the price goes up, maybe you would take 25% here, maybe you take 25% here, another 25% here, and the rest up here, right? This is called scaling out. And every smart trader, or at least every trader that knows what he's doing, will do this, because nobody knows where's the exact top and nobody knows where's the exact bottom. Unless of course you're in the private Discord group, then you will know where the exact bottom is. But for most of you out here, you're going to want a dollar cost average. And again, I get this comment a lot from, especially retail traders I'm retail as well, but like more beginner traders. Like, they always ask me, hey, if I take profits here, what if the price continues to pump? Wouldn't I be missing out on potential gains? And here's what I always have to tell these people. In trading, right, the moment you take up a position, right, any position, everything that you do from then on is painful. For example, if you take profits early and, the price keeps going up, then that's painful, right? But what if, right? Think about it. What if the price goes all the way up here and you still don't take profit, and then it comes all the way back to your entry and maybe even below and stop you out? That would be painful as well, right? Or maybe the price comes up just here and then it comes back to stop you out. That'd be painful as well. So at the end of the day, you have to be comfortable with choosing the kind of pain that you're willing to accept. For me, I'm willing to accept taking profits earlier, but at least I've secured those profits. And again, I always like to tell people, trading is a long game, right? Don't look to get rich quick or win a Lambo of Dogecoin going up to $1 or something. Trading is a long game, right? It's always about those little wins, right, that add up over time. That's going to absolutely make your account snowball. So for real, don't be aiming for those big wins. Just go for the small wins every single day. You'll be surprised at how much 1% a day over a course of a year is going to 37x your account. Now imagine if you're doing 2% a day or 3% a day. Just think about it for a second. So with that said, if you're serious about crypto or serious about trading and you want to speed up your learning process and be able to build a very solid foundation, you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. And with that said, I hope this trade works out for you. May the gains be with you. I'll see you in the Discord group, and peace, my friend.